So not a car video today, but a bathroom one. We've resealed the bath a couple of times. There's quite a big gap between the wall and the rolled edge of the bath. So as you can see, gets water in there and looks grubby. So just trying to remove the old sealant before we try a new solution. I've found something good to do this. A Stanley knife with a long blade on it, obviously a scraper, and the tool you get with trampolines to pull the springs in seems really good as well. Let's crack on with it. I've done about 20 minutes on it now. It's not as bad as I thought at this end. It looked terrible, but it's coming off quite easy. This is by far the best tool for it. Longish blade, and just manages to get most of it off the tiles. Struggled for a while. We were upgraded to the window scraper. Much easier to actually get it off the tiles, so hoping we'll get through it a bit quicker with that. So because I'm going to put an edging strip on, I need to make sure all the tiles and the bathtop are clear of any old silicone, which I think I've done quicker than I thought I was going to. I've managed to get off everything I can. So I'm now going to cut my pieces of edging and make sure they fit just before I put the silicone heater on and leave that for a while. One thing I was a little concerned about is the angle for this, but it does seem to be a 45, so I can put a mitered cut on the strips. Okay, I've got my pieces of trim cut. I'm going to have to cut the taps out on the back one. That one's cut to length there. I just need to make sure that it's bent into place, like places like that is stuck up a little bit at the moment. So I'm going to put the silicone remover on. That needs to be on the tiles on the top of the bath, just so that the new silicone will stick to it. Unibond silicone remover. Instructions say lay all over, leave for 3 hours. So I want to get some of that on and make sure that it's going on the tiles and the bath. So I'll get a load of it on and then smear it into it. Don't know if it shows up, but I have put a generous amount of that sealer removal on the tiles and onto the bath where I need the new silicone to stick. So I'm going to leave that for 3 hours. Okay, so we've left that on slightly longer than 3 hours. That silicone remover was on all night. I've removed that, as the instructions said, just with a dry towel and cleaned the area with methylated spirit. I have cut my strips to length and I have put a mitre in the corner, but I'm actually going to try and not use these because I was thinking it'd end up like a gutter and all the shower water would just run off the end without positioning it properly. So instead, what I'm going to do, well, what I have done, and I'll see how it looks, is use masking tape along the edge of the bath, and I have this little spreader, or what you'd call, it says 14 on it. If I hold that on the edge of the bath, I should be able to go all the way along and get a nice flat edge and nothing that I don't need, and then obviously take off the excess. So put the masking tape on the bath, just going to put that on the wall as well. Okay, I've masked it up, got a slightly thinner bead on the front. Obviously we've got the bath full, that's what you're supposed to do when you're siliconing. All masked up, I've got my spreader ready. I'm going to use a 10 on the front of it and 14 on the outside. I'm presuming that's millimetres, so it's marked up I'll mask it up accordingly. Let's get some silicone on. So I've seen a few videos where people cut the tips differently. I need a small bead at the front, so I've just cut the end off of there. Because I'm using a scraper to get it in, I think that should be okay, but we'll see. Right, well, I'm really pleased with that. I'm not sure how good it's coming across on camera, but that is much neater than it was before. Time to go slightly, well, I'll use the same nozzle, but on the other side. Go. Right, this is the other side that I'm going to do slightly more. This is, did I say 18 or 14? I was going to use 14. That's it. This is really good, this scraper. I'm really impressed with it. So I'm just holding the flat edge on the bath. And it's actually pushing it into the gap. And you can see what a nice edge we've got there. The finished product, I realised a couple of things when I did this. That's much better than it was, so I'm happy with it for now. But I didn't put enough on to start with. And when I did put more on and try and get it over the top, we've got some little ridges in there that are just going to do the same thing and catch water like I did before. But overall, I think it should be okay.